This club's about winning trophies. I'm inexperienced in a lot of those things.
3-0.
Can you believe it?
Almost lost the cup and you win it. The new European champions, the treble, the dream come true for you.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Football, bloody hell. But they never give in. And that's the winner.
Welcome to American Red Devils podcast. I'm John.
I'm Alex.
And we're bringing you the best Manchester United news from this side of the pond.
Ooh, sir. How you doing? Big win on the road, 3-0 FA Cup, moving on to the quarterfinals against Waza.
Wayne Rooney goes by the name of Wayne Rooney.
The White Pele, still in form. You know,
hair's looking great. I mean, like a shout out to Rooney's hair plugs. He's kind of got. I think he's going bald in the middle, maybe coloring that in. But his hair, beard game strong. Wayne Rooney looking good. Derby County.
He's got the Grizzly Adams beard. I mean, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The boy can still play. You know, it's championship football, but hey, he still has a lot to contribute. That free kick was testament to that. Romero bailing us out with that one, but good performance from the boys. We got some rest. Some people got a run out, and Igalo FC. Race for Igalo. Good for him.
Dude, Igalo FC, the coronavirus made him superhuman, sir. Hitting him 2 goals, 2 starts. I mean, he has a goal for every start. Igalo hitting the ground running. Everyone laughed at this signing, and he looks like he can do it in the box. Great touch. Has a finish in him. I mean, I like to see him playing number 9 with Martial on the left.
I would. I'd like to see him up front. I think he's a sole target man and plays the role really well. We are going to eat our own words because we weren't super friendly to him in his first appearance. I think we did use testimonial match pace.
Well, it was testimonial fitness, to be fair.
And he's come a long way. I think every game he looks better and better. His pace is better. His touch is better. And I think this is his best performance to date.
He has that X factor, though. He's cool under pressure. He like I said, he's a pro's pro. He knows what to do. He's not trying to beat a man for pace. He's getting in the box, getting in dangerous positions, has a good touch, and then getting it on net. That's his first thought, is put the ball in the back of the net. And that's what you need in a number 9, something we've been lacking at Manchester United. And, with Mata on the right, Fernandez in the middle, obviously Luke Shaw doing the job on the left, Jesse Lingard, I'm not going to give him too much credit there. I don't think he had that great of a game. But look, you look at this team, you look at where we're at with those 2 additions over January, 9 unbeaten, sir. Ever since we released the hoodies, we're repping them right now.
Great timing.
This team, it's on, sir. We have a big match this weekend as well. So, I mean, fireworks for Manchester United fans. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is the best part of the season.
It is, and we're getting hot exactly when you want to get hot, right? Get into the nitty-gritty in a lot of cup competitions, quarterfinals time, almost there. So, it's getting really exciting. Top 4, 10 games left, and we got some big games coming up. Next 2 are going to be huge. If we can pick up 4 points between City at home and Spurs on the road, that would be huge for us and propel us into the top 4. But everything left to play for, and these 2 signings that we made are hitting the ground running. Bruno probably had one of his quieter days today, and Igalo had the opportunity to shine.
Quick PSA for the podcast. If you're listening to American Red Devils, we really appreciate you for subscribing and downloading the pod. This is independent fan content for fans, by fans. And if you want to support us, the number one thing you can do right now is you can drop us a review on iTunes. That's how we're found organically. The ratings, they do the job. That's how new people find us looking through new podcasts. So if you want to drop a review on iTunes, we really appreciate it. 5 stars, some cheeky banner. We'll mail you a sticker for free if you screenshot it and email it to americanreddevils@gmail.com. You can also check out our blog. Alex has been killing it. Shout out to all of our contributors who've been doing amazing on that front. And you can check out our blog, www.americanreddevils.com. And we have some hysterical merch, Glazers out. Everything in between. Click on store, sir. We got a lot going on.
We got a lot
undefeated hoodies.
The hoodies are on fire. They are flying out the door, and you know what? For good reason, because they're champion hoodies. They're proper.
We're gonna need
really
to re-up.
Nice, good print. No, we're gonna re-up.
We need to re-up hoodies, crews. We need to do it all.
And we got to get some bigger sizes. We got to go into the X's anyway. But like you said,
it was a test order.
Blog is ripping. Shout out to all the major contributors, to Vince, to Victor, to CJ. The list goes on. We appreciate all the hard work you're doing. And if fans aren't checking out, you certainly should, because it's some of the best custom American Red Devils / Manchester United content on the web. Great stuff.
Hey, that's what we want. For fans, by fans. Sir, but let's jump into this match. Manchester United 3, Derby 0. I wouldn't have mind, Rooney getting one of those free kicks at the end. Everyone would have cheered, even though United Way support ripping all game long. You have to give it up for the United Way support. They were in great form.
As they do.
At the Pride Park Stadium, sir. Have a dark ale. You got one right here. You're drinking a Guinness.
Why not?
Enjoy it. This is the FA Cup 5th round lineup, sir. Ole won with the 4-2-3-1. He doesn't really veer too much from this, although we might see a back three when we play against Manchester City. Luke Shaw on the left, Lindelof, Bailly, center back pairing, Maguire out. Apparently he rolled his ankle in training. We shall see if he can make it back this weekend. Dalot on the right. I'd like to see Dalot get some game time. Fred, McTominay midfield, Lingard on the left, Fernandez, the number 10, Mata on the right, Igalo FC up top, sir. What'd you make of this lineup? Derby County away. Could Rooney do it? Could this lineup get us the win?
You look at the starting 11, and you got to think it's good enough to beat Derby, even though you're on the road. But you got some world beaters on that side. These aren't the world beaters, but good to see Dalot in the side. I thought we'd get a chance to see Brandon Williams. It's been a minute, but it looks like Luke Shaw has cemented himself as a starting LB. So
look, competition was good for Meat Pie. I mean, now he's the impossible Meat Pie, sir. I don't even know how to adjust in super impossible.
The impossible
Meat Pie.
Luke Shaw.
He looked great, man of the match.
He had a hell of a performance today. He looked great. I was happy about seeing Fernandez and Mata. I think those two, are greater than the sum of their parts, right?
Yeah,
1 + 1
Iberian
= 3.
connect.
Dude, it looks great. And then Igalo up front. Jesse Lingard, he had a decent game. Wasn't the hardest opponent, but he's not breaking into starting 11 anytime soon.
He's not quite
when we're playing
championship.
City.
He's more like League Two.
No, he would do well at Derby. He fit right in next to Wayne Rooney.
I don't see it because you watch the Derby.
He's not great.
You watch the Derby players; they got grit. I don't know how much grit Jesse Lingard has, and it goes to that the syndrome is how much is too much money young. I mean, he got paid so much money young. Was he always in it for football? Does he have that hunger to achieve the next level of the next tier, starting at Manchester United week in, week out? I mean, you look at Ronaldo. Clearly, money doesn't matter to him. He gets paid, but his performances on the pitch, it's all about that. It's not about the Instagram, not about nothing, sir. We can go all day about Jesse Lingard's Instagram. Let's jump in. First half, 10th minute, Derby came out fit and firing. Sibley, an 18-year-old midfielder for Derby, let one fly from his left foot. Sergio, Mr. Clean Sheet Romero, very close, sniffs the post, sir. Didn't quite hit it, but it was bending right into the bottom corner. I mean, this one kind of scared me. Derby were out for blood against Manchester United. And
I would argue Derby was probably the better side in the first 30 minutes. They were coming at us. We weren't really playing our game. We looked a little, not nervous on the ball, but we just weren't being as calm and assured as it seemed like Manchester United should be when they go to travel and play a championship side. So nervy in the first 10 minutes, but Romero doing what he does.
It's a balance of, hey, when we have to have the ball, we have to take it to Derby, and we're away. It's like they're ready to hit us on the counter. I mean, that's exactly what's going to happen. 18th minute, Wayne Rooney steps up to a free kick, bending right to left. Another great look at it, but Romero dives and tips it around the post. Another great save from Sergio Romero, probably the best backup keeper, at least in England, sir. Probably around the world, but he denies Wayne Rooney. Great free kick in his locker still, Wayne Rooney.
Still got it. Class is permanent.
You're a big Rooney guy. So how do you feel watching a Manchester United legend? Obviously, he has scored the most amount of goals for Manchester United. How do you feel seeing him play against United? It's almost, for me, he should be playing on Manchester United or be a presence in the locker room. Clearly he's over the hill. Did he leave Manchester United too soon?
No, I think he left Manchester United probably when he should have left. Some would argue he should have left earlier. But for me, favorite player growing up. He was the guy that kind of did it for me for United 04, 05 when he was breaking onto the scene, joining United after the Euros. He could do no wrong. Things kind of got a little shady 2011, 2012, angling for that move. You could argue it was a lack of investment from the club, but does it bring a pain in my heart to see him play against us? No, it's good that he's still trying to compete at the highest level. Championship's not the highest level, but he still wants to play. He's not ready to just take a payday in the MLS, right? He was playing the MLS, and he wants more football because I think he wants to get into coaching, wants to be as close to the source as possible, and wanted to come back to England. So good for him. It makes me happy. It gives me pride because the boy's still playing. The boy, dude, he's going in for tackles. Look, he's the Waza. He's the white Pele, baby.
I would say Rooney is like a fine wine, He's getting better with age. You know, as a fan, when he was at Manchester United,
I think he's the opposite of fine. He came out so hot as an 18-year-old. His best years were 18 to 26.
I'm talking about my memories of Rooney because when he was maybe when he was at the club. He kind of had that spat with Sir Alex, kind of out of character. You know, there was clearly Sir Alex kind of said some things. They kind of, they exchanged words. I think he was trying to go to Madrid or was angling for a bigger contract, but something was going on with Rooney. Then he re-signs. Obviously, he kills it when he had that headband for Manchester United. Scores the goal, the greatest goal I've ever seen live in the derby, the overhead kick, and then. He ended up leaving the club kind of in a lackluster fashion. Fans are like, hey, he's too old. He can't do the job. Deep lying midfielder, right? We got to get rid of him. But now that he's kind of been away from the club for a little bit, thinking about Wayne Rooney, the total career at Manchester United, I mean, everyone has to love him, right? There was some drama there with Sir Alex towards the end of Sir Alex's tenure. So I do think it was a little rocky, Rooney's departure. But now everyone loves him, I think, every United fan.
It was. I think time heals all wounds, as they say. So it's been a long time. I think people forgot about that drama, and they don't forget what he's done on the pitch. They don't forget the 5 Premier League titles. They don't forget the Champions League. They don't forget skinhead Rooney and all the memories,
Headband
right?
Rooney.
Against Newcastle, the goal against City, the goals against Chelsea. Hair plug Rooney. I think that was his demise. Honestly, he had a huge dip in form after he got the plugs, mainly because you have to take some kind of testosterone repressor when you're on the play.
He should have just gone full shaved head.
It's a good look for him.
Look, we can talk about Rooney all day, but this was like a stroll down memory lane for United. A lot of United fans with Rooney playing against Manchester United. 31st minute, great chance for Agalu, put 1-on-1. I think this was an errant pass from Derby's midfielder. Actually falls into Agalu's path, goes 1-on-1 with the keeper, but he shoots it right into his chest. Agalu looking sharp. It's almost like when he has an eye for goal, he can get there. He looks hungry for a goal. And, sir, we didn't have to wait much longer. In the 33rd minute.
Lingard nearby. Lingard in possession. Chance to shoot. Block made initially. Fernandes got his boot over the top of it. Shaw! Oh, and it's looped into the back of the net from Luke Shaw. Agonisingly out of reach for Keller Rose. Manchester United ahead. And it's Luke Shaw who's got the goal.
Get this lad a meat pie. Hot off the presses, sir. They got a few down there by the bench. I'm sure they can flip one to Luke Shaw. Great. Look, this is like one of those ugly FIFA goals. You'll take it, right? Bouncing around. Bruno gets a shot. Lingard gets a shot. Falls to Luke Shaw. Kind of miffs it, but it bounces into the turf over the Derby keeper. 1-0 to Manchester United. And I think actually Lingard's back got the last touch. So I don't know. I believe Luke Shaw got the credit for the goal, but I'm going to at least say he's the man. Give it to him. And he deserves it. Played great. Played lights out. Had swag. Everything you want to see from a left back. Looks like competition was good for me pie.
The impossible Shaw. I think that's the nickname. The nickname is the impossible meat pie Shaw? The meat
City, baby.
Either way, he had a hell of a performance today.
FC.
He looked lights out all day. I think it helps when you know that the team doesn't have too much to worry about on the defensive side of the pitch. And he had ample opportunity to bomb forward. Looked super dangerous, linking up on the left side of the pitch. So good for Luke. We've been hard on him, super hard on him on this pod, probably fairly, but he has rebounded and responded in a big way to having Brandon Williams fighting for his spot. And I think you've seen it. You probably see it in practice, but you've seen it on the pitch, and he's come a long way. So good for him. Good for him to get the goal. Only second goal in professional football, and hopefully he continues to kick on.
Yeah, look, no one likes taking shots at Luke Shaw. I think Meat
It's
Pie.
in jest. He was partly in jest.
I like some nicknames. They just turn. I like Meat Pie.
Who doesn't like a meat pie?
Because they're
delicious.
No, Meat Pie. Get him a Meat Pie. Scores a goal. But it's the confidence he's playing with, right? You'll see here when we get to the next United goal. He just going forward exactly what a left back should be doing. Kind of looking like he did originally at Southampton. A lot of it for me is fitness. I think he came in unfit to this season. Then he had a little competition from B-Dubs, rightfully so. And I think he's kind of found that extra gear. And he did have that big injury under LVG. So look, as long as he can kick on, I'm a Luke Shaw fan. I think Impossible Meat Pie is here to stay. What do you say, sir? What do you say?
Hey, if he keeps playing like this, we'll call him whatever he wants to be called. But he is playing with great form at the moment. And I think he's one of those players kind of like Wayne was, right? He needs to keep playing like every 3 days because fitness has always been kind of a thing. And if you just,
He has a few meat pies. Right?
He likes a meat pie, who doesn't? But if you keep playing him enough, he'll stay in really good shape, barring an injury, and can play to the levels he's been playing at.
Maybe a side of chips, maybe 2 sides of chips. So you don't know.
Some gravy as well.
39th minute, a huge handball shout here. Shot deflected from Fernandez off an arm in the box from a Derby player. Again, no VAR, but if this was VAR, it probably would have been a penalty
all day.
So again, we can't pray to the VAR gods when they do not exist here in the FA Cup. And we'd have to wait longer for the next goal, 41st minute.
Possession. Mata flitting around. Shaw into Igalo, trying to find a way through, and Igalo has! Second start for Manchester United, and he scores his second goal for the club. Odion Igalo makes it 2-0 in the closing minutes of the first half. And Manchester United seemingly taking another stride towards the quarterfinals.
Igalo is living the dream, and it just got better. But what about this for a ball from Shaw? Talk about the eye of a needle. This is an incredible pass. It just takes so many Derby players out, and then Igalo, he has the physical strength to get himself right, to get himself sorted, and he finds that far corner under pressure. But that was all about the ball from Luke.
Igalo FC from the Impossible Meat Pie. Great pass from Luke Shaw. He was going forward. Igalo made a little move, a little shimmy, got some space. And, it's all about being that striker, having that instinct, that power. He just knew where to do it. Ball kind of didn't bounce kindly, got it out from his feet and finished, sir. I mean, this is a pro's pro right there. Odion Igalo.
Dude, Viva Igalo, as they say. Good for him, right? Good pass from Shaw. I think he got a little luck on the bounce, the way it bounced off the defender, but he's a pro's pro, like you said, and he just finishes, has a goal, a nose for net all the time. Kind of reminds me of Chicharito. Just always around the box, looking for that finish, and scores scrappy goals. Because this team, all of our strikers score worldies, or they don't score these type of goals.
Right?
Martial, Rashford, even they don't score like right in front of the box. Muscle off a player and put it in the back of the net, and you need a lot of those goals. Rooney used to score those goals and the worldies, and it's good to just have a player that's like a workman type striker.
Also settling into United, right? He's settling into a huge club. Like the fact that we picked him up, he's already scored 3.
That's pretty good.
I mean, it's pretty good.
He's almost at Falcao's number, bro. That was 4.
What I was gonna
you should have taken the over.
What I was going to say is he's the Bizarro Falcao, all right? Like Odion Igalo is the Bizarro Falcao, comes into a team, scores, makes it look easy. Falcao, I honestly can't even believe he played for Manchester United. That's how terrible he was. Sir, jumping in the second half, 50th minute, close opportunity here from Derby. Waghorn headed Boggles corner, wicked cross with a lot of pace in. Just missed the far post, sir. This easily could have been 2-1. Then Derby could have been back into it. 56th minute save. Luke Shaw on a run. Had a one-on-one shot and right off the keeper, sir. But Luke Shaw could have had another goal here. I thought it could have been Luke Shaw's night. 2 goals and an assist.
I mean, the only thing to help with his confidence is the second goal. I mean, he's played great in this game, got a goal, got an assist, and he's just playing with more and more confidence. You can see that in the stuff that he's trying to pull off, that pass to Igalo, right? Thread the needle. Great stuff from the Englishman.
But when it comes to Luke Shaw, before it's like he would go forward and just have nothing to do. But now it's like he has intent, right? And I think that's when we fairly criticized him, and he didn't have that intent. And now he's just kind of like, boom, right to goal, look for that pass, look for that shot. Amazing from the Impossible Meat Pie. 67th minute sub, Bruno Fernandes makes way for our favorite Andres Pereira, comes onto the pitch. And
everybody's favorite. Everybody loves Pereira.
In the 70th minute, Igalo FC.
Much playing alongside Wayne Rooney in the heart of that midfield. Here's Fred now. Igalo. Nicely done. Measured play here. Back from Mata. The block made by Bogle. And Igalo wasn't going to be denied the second time. 2 goals for him on the night. 3 for Manchester United. And they are surely now heading into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Derby 0, Manchester United 3.
And Wayne Rooney
not happy.
Shot to Wayne Rooney saying, for fuck's sake, man. Look, it's one of those nights where, you know, shout out to Wayne Rooney, but losing 3-0. Juan Mata with a cross into Ighalo. First one saved by the keeper, or actually off the line by the defender, and then easy as you like. What a reaction. First hit from Ighalo, top shelf. Love it.
Yeah, but he gets it off the ground. It was good build-up play in the first place. You know, good eye to spot Mata. So that's just like, he's got the right instincts. And then he also lifts the ball in the second instance to get it over the defender. Probably what he should have done at the end of the Everton game. I think if he lifted that ball, we would have scored the winner. But he's playing with confidence. Another goal added to his locker, and he's just off and running. I know. Is he going to get the start on Sunday?
I don't think so. 73rd minute, sub Martial on for Fred. 80th minute, another sub.
Why do you bring Martial on? I mean, I don't understand that.
Give him a go. Why not? Yeah, give him a goal. Add to Martial's add to his tally, sir. Give him some confidence. 80th minute, B-Dubs on for Luke Shaw, man of the match, by the way. Well done, Luke Shaw. I really appreciate you. 89th minute, Odion Ighalo can't complete the hat trick inside the box. He tries to take the ball down. His touch is lucky. Bounces off his body, sets up nicely, but he scuffs his effort a little wide. You can forgive this one mainly because he's already got a brace. In the 91st minute, Wayne Rooney, free kick in a similar position to earlier. A worldie of a hit, and Romero there for the challenge. A great shot stop from Sergio Romero, sir. That was it. Manchester United 3, Derby 0. Whew, that is big. On to the quarterfinals in the FA Cup, and boy, with the Scouse Bastards out, Manchester City, the favorites. I'm liking our odds for some silverware. FA Cup. Ole, he's got a lot on his plate. We got Europa, FA Cup, we got the league, top 4, top 5, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot on Manchester United. As a Manchester United fan, there's a lot to be excited about going into the end of the year right now.
There is. And speaking of players that are, building confidence, Ole at the moment, he's getting things right and rotating the squad like he did in this match. He played some players that, needed minutes. He gave some players some rest, and Matic got some, finally got some time off. Martial didn't play much of the game. Maguire is injured, so he's likely to feature on the weekend if the ankle injury isn't too bad. But you kind of see him growing into confidence and be able to rotate squad. Having the players at his disposal is huge for him. So if he can get the weekend right, that's going to be a big test for not only the manager, but for our squad as well. It's a huge match at home.
It's not medieval times. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he just needs a few players, right?
There you go. That's true. Where they've been.
He says it's not medieval times. Sorry, medieval times, you're a fan. It's a restaurant in...
Who's not?
It's a restaurant in New Jersey. You can go check it out.
Multiple medieval times.
Match stats, possession, United 62% of the ball to Derby's 38%. Shots, 26-13, but shots on target, 8-5. Manchester United clearly having the majority of the ball, the majority of the opportunities, and with those 3 goals. Manchester United have won each of their last 9 FA Cup meetings with Derby County, a run of victories stretching back to March 1948. And Manchester United are unbeaten in 9 matches across all competitions. We've won 6 and drawn 3. Keeping 7 clean sheets and conceding just 2 goals in total in this run. And yes, one of those goals was kicked off Calvert-Lewin into our own net, so it should really be 1. And Manchester United striker Odion Ighalo has scored in consecutive starts in all competitions for an English club for the first time since December 2015 for Watford, when he scored in 4 in a row, sir. So is that, the little bit of history? They say history repeats itself. Should we be starting Ighalo Sunday? And by we, I mean, should Ole be starting Ighalo Sunday against Manchester City?
Absolutely. I like his size. I think there's some question marks around City's defense. They got midfield and attackers for days, but their defense is a little shady at the moment. I think you play him up front, Martial on the left, and Mata on the right. Bruno the hole. I like that.
He's in my starting 11. I don't know if Ole is going to start him there, mainly because I have to think we're going to be countering City, right? So you have to be thinking Martial in number 9 role. I'd like to see that with Martial on the left, him play hold up. I just don't know if that extra body should be in midfield as far as how Ole's going to set up. I mean, back 3 is a possibility. Sir, like I mentioned, we are into the last 8 quarterfinalists for the FA Cup. Clearly, this would be a piece of silverware that Ole would really enjoy. He'd really like to have that in his cabinet. I would love to win it. Again, I think his job should be judged on European football or silverware. So for me, if he wins the FA Cup and we don't make the top 4, I would say he gets the job either way.
Didn't save LVG.
Did not save LVG, but I do think the bar has moved. The target has moved for Ed Woodward. Not really clear on how we're managing this club. No director of football, no direction. Hashtag sack Woodward. Hashtag Glazers out. Sir, get yourself a scarf. AmericanReddevils.com. Click on store. Manchester United versus Norwich, and I believe we've been saying Derby, right? I think it's Derby.
Hard to say.
I don't know. We're
trying our best.
Trying our best, but Norwich is really Norwich.
Good draw though.
Great draw for United. So other ties, we have City versus Newcastle, Arsenal, Sheffield United, Leicester versus Chelsea. The most hysterical stuff, I looked at what the bookies odds have. Clearly the favorite. I don't know why. Manchester City are the favorite, minus 138.
You don't know why?
I mean,
they're still pretty good.
I haven't.
They won the Carabao Cup.
I hate Manchester City.
Who doesn't?
I don't think we've beaten them. I mean, we've had their number across a few fixtures. But Manchester United plus 800, Chelsea plus 700, Arsenal plus 900, Leicester plus 1,000. So you're looking at the next favorite to City, who's minus 138. I mean, you're talking they're the odds on by a country mile to win the FA Cup. Chelsea are plus 700. They're rated better than us, but they have to play Leicester and we have to play Norwich. I don't understand the math from the bookies here. I think there's some value. Manchester United plus 800. I would have to think
take a punt
over Arsenal. I would actually think Leicester would be favored better than Chelsea at the moment, but that's not the way it's written,
especially at home.
I really think that United. I would say plus 420. I would say something like the odds are off here. I think there is value for Manchester United to win the FA Cup because, again, if we get to a final with City, more pressure's on them, right? I think the pressure's on them in the FA Cup final with us. We score early. They're shook. We can win it, so we can totally win it. I think Arsenal, they're a joke. Chelsea beat them all the time. I mean, Leicester, I'd be scared about Leicester.
I'd be more worried about Sheffield United probably than an Arsenal or a Chelsea.
No, exactly. That's why.
Because it means so much to them. They're going to be going for it.
So plus 1,800 for Sheffield United. Those are the odds. That is the FA Cup. I am looking forward to it, sir. Again, great.
A lot of games.
I think the storyline is, we got a great fixture against Norwich, right? That is they're the worst in the competition. We're playing them. So then just on to the next one and figure the draws from there.
It's on the road again. So, we have no problem at the moment playing on the road, especially against a team like Norwich, but we'll be hearing those away fans loud and clear.
Sir, I love the away support. What do we know? Let's check in with the manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ollie, how pleased are you with that professional performance, and did Sergio not read the script and allow the goal at the end?
They're hungry for clean sheets, aren't they? Fantastic save, to be fair, and of course he didn't read the script. It was one of them that you'd almost hope that they hit it from there. But very pleased with the performance, very pleased to go through. You never know, away from home, being the favourites, having City on Sunday, how that will affect the mindset, but it was professional, as you said.
That's 9 games now, undefeated.
Yep.
Your best since your first game, mate.
Yeah.
What do you put that down to?
That's just what happens in football at times. You might hit a run with winnable games, or you find form. We've found form, defending well, clean sheets. Of course, that's massive for us to I think 7 in them 9, and that's important. To concede, we shouldn't have conceded anyway. So. I've got good players and they're hitting form.
Regardless of what you like.
Ole, Mr. Nice Guy. I mean, doesn't say much when we lose, not saying much when we win. This is what happens in football. Sometimes you have a good spell. Sometimes, the ball bounces your way. Sometimes you sign Odion Igalo.
He's trying not to get everybody too excited. He's trying to taper expectations, which makes sense. He's shooting it like he sees it. He's trying not to get himself, pat himself on the back too quickly because he's got everything left to play for. Nothing's concrete, and he doesn't want to blow it by speaking too soon because the biggest chance of blowing this run is Sunday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like if you look at expectations, you look at the bookies, sir. Expectations are that we're not going to win. So I would say that the pressure's on Manchester City once again. Let's check in with Odion Igalo. He had 2 goals. He had gave a cheeky interview post-match. Let's hear what the lad had to say.
Oh, he's smiling.
How is life? 2 goals, 3rd goal for Manchester United. Started so well, hasn't it? Yeah, first I want to thank God for that, and the most important thing we won today, we are through to the next round. That's the most important thing, and I'm happy for the goals, but we can still do better than what we did today.
I mean, you explained this so well when you came to Manchester United, just suddenly appear here and play for the club of your dreams. How has these weeks been?
Yeah, it's been great. We are working hard. I've been doing my best to keep shape, to get to 100% fitness, and it's going well. So today game is gone. We're happy. We're going through. It's a big game on Sunday. We look forward to that.
How important has Ole Gunnar been since your arrival?
Yeah, he's been great. He's the one who makes sure work hard to bring me here, and I have to pay him back with my hard work, with everything. So he has taught me a lot in training and in games, some mistakes as a striker. He's told me what to do in the box and all those. So I'm happy I'm learning from a great manager and a great striker he was before. So I'm very happy.
Old Ighalo, he scores 2 goals, and he just like masterclass. Jesse Lingard, you listening? This is how you say. It's a pleasure to be here. Great opportunity. Coach is amazing.
I think Dio's first. First and foremost.
You could have played better.
I love that.
Could have scored 2 more. I mean, like a pro's pro. Odion Ighalo. Sir, don't buy the jersey yet.
I'm not. I'd be rushing to buy our new 2 players, Ighalo and Fernandez. I think they both offer something different. He's like quiet, soft-spoken. I think more, Fernandez is a little bit more of a vocal leader, but what a good guy he seems to be. He's also getting better every match, and you can see that.
Working hard.
Getting up to fitness, and it means so much to him. He wants to play for this club. He knows that Ole took a big risk by bringing him back from China, and he wants to reward him with, showing it on the pitch. And he's also learning still. He's like, I got things to learn. I'm 30, but I got things to learn, and Ole is a good guy to teach him. So, hey, Viva Ighalo, man.
Yeah,
I don't like Donkey Kong.
If I was playing in China and then I got a deal to Manchester United and I scored 2 goals, I don't care if it's against Derby County or whatever, I would still be a little less humble in the interview. I'd be like, "Yep, that's what I do." I'd be
that's the difference between you and Odion Ighalo, sir.
Well, I'm just saying, like, think he's a fan of the club, right? So as a fan, if I scored for Manchester United, I think it'd be hard to hold it back. It'd be hard, but he
knows how football works.
He's a pro's pro, is what I'm saying.
No doubt. But he knows how football works, and it's like, you're hot one day, you can be not the next day. So he doesn't want to get ahead of himself, right? Yeah. Like, remember, Angel Di Maria came out like hot out of the blocks, scoring worldies, and then he cooled off real quick.
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of those.
No one wants to get ahead of themselves.
The Ed Woodward transfer graveyard. I'll add. Sir. Next Halloween, we got Falcao, we got Di Maria, we got the gravestones for all of them. Sir, next match, it is huge because it is the Manchester Derby. Manchester United versus Manchester City at Old Trafford. That's right. People will actually show up to that stadium to watch it. Sunday, March 8th, 9:30 a.m. Pacific. And this comes at a hell of a time because we need this win in the league. City, they don't really need it as much as us. We're fighting for that top 4 position. Again, when Chelsea dropped points, we couldn't do the job last week. I don't want to remind too many people about that De Gea howler, but we did draw Everton away. So when City comes to our house, for some reason, we've been playing better at theirs, at the Etihad. How are you feeling going in this match, sir? It is very important. I feel like this is the big leagues. You had the easy sort of snack today with Derby, and then you got the real Derby on Sunday. This is going to be really intense.
It's going to be really intense, and they're going to be out for blood because we've had their number a couple times this year, right? Beat them at home in December, big match, and then we beat them on the second leg of the Carabao Cup semis. So they're a little pissed off about that. They want to come back and get blood early, like they often do. They come out hot out of the blocks and looking to get goals right from the start. So I think it'd be big to have Maguire back. I think if we don't have Maguire, it's gonna be a much tougher match because he changes the team, and I think you're gonna be
likely back though.
But Bailly next to Lindelof is still Lindelof.
If Bailly can just like break a few of them, like break a few bones,
break himself. He'll break himself in half while he's doing it.
As long as he takes two City Blues with him.
And they got no KDB. I think KDB's hurt, which is a big loss to them.
He is shoulder. There have been 181 competitive meetings between the teams. United have won 75, City 54, and the remaining 52 games finished as draws. We have the numbers, sir. The city is yours. City is yours.
Not so fucking
20,000
sure.
empty seats. Are you fucking sure? I don't know. So they're always kicking a blue here at the American Red Devils podcast. Absolutely despite a lot of clubs we don't like.
Oh, that's the thing about United. You
Yeah,
have a
I
lot of
love
enemies.
it.
A lot of
Yeah,
enemies.
yeah.
This is just England we're
Well,
talking about.
this
We got enemies beyond the island of UK.
Well, it was like 15 years ago when you and me were, started becoming fans of Manchester United. That we play, there would be the derby, and you'd be like, "Oh yeah, the derby," but they were shit. Now, like they've kind of obviously financial fair play violations, tons of oil money later. They're like a big threat. I love it though. I think it's great for the game, great for Manchester football. So the first meeting between these two teams occurred on the 12th of November, 1881, when St. Mark's West Gordon, who later become Manchester City, hosted Newton Heath. Lancashire Railroad, the squad, who would later become Manchester United. The game finished 3-0 in favor to Newton Heath. We've always had their number, sir. We absolutely murk them.
I like that scoreline.
In the Premier League, there's a lot of different. The derby is across all competitions. Obviously, played 45 in the Premier League. City's won 15. We've drawn 8. United 22. But this is the one that kind of bothers me, sir. City's goals scored 61. United's goals scored 66. They score a lot of goals and have been lately, and we don't want it to be racked up. I don't want an embarrassing game. I need the lads fighting for every blade of grass on Sunday.
It's a huge match, and I think the boys are fired up. They're playing confidently. It's Bruno's first derby. He's going to be excited playing against a Portuguese player in Bernardo. I think he's going to have a point to prove, want to get a goal. It's going to be a huge match for us. It's going to be really like Everton was a giant test, but we dropped points there. You got to do the deed at home. You got to keep a clean sheet, and you got to try and steal a goal.
Sir, I have the recent form here against Manchester City, and looking at the home matches, Manchester United, we lost in the League Cup. That was big. City beat us 3-1 at home. Before that was April 2019. We lost 2-0. I believe that was the Argentinian defender. Starts with what's his name for Manchester City? Otamendi. Starts with an O.
When you had the header, right?
Yeah, the header goal. Then prior to that, December 2017, we lost 2-1. Again, we fought well. You have to go back to October 2016 since we beat City at home. It was 1-0 in the League Cup. For some reason, Old Trafford, they do it. They do the job easy against us. And the stats are the other way when we go to Manchester City. I don't know why that is. Do you think there's additional pressure for the lads playing at home? I mean, I have to think that we have an advantage playing at Old Trafford, but for some reason, City just do the job very easy in our house.
We got to break the juju because we have to return Old Trafford to being a fortress. I like the fact that we're on a good run of clean sheets. Like you said, I think in the 9 games that we talked about this run, we've only conceded 2 goals. You got to get a clean sheet. If you could hold them to 0 goals, that's a huge result just there. Even if you don't get a goal yourself, 0-0 draw is nothing to be ashamed of.
Nope, no. I mean, we're gonna drop points at the table. It's like this is.
I think a point. I think a point is a good result here.
Sir, we need 4th place though.
I'm just saying this is the hardest game we have of the last 10 games. Even though it's at home, but it's harder than Tottenham away. We're also playing Sheffield. It's harder than that.
Chelsea are playing Everton at home. I mean, Everton are playing well right now under Ancelotti.
At Stamford Bridge?
At Stamford Bridge. If Everton could pip some points, you're right. A draw wouldn't be bad, but it's Chelsea's the mark, dude. We cannot leave. We cannot be saying 5 points behind Chelsea right now. It's going to be tight. I have to think that this is almost must win for United.
They're almost all now.
It isn't must wins, but you're right. You're like every game. We got to be beating City, sir. Absolutely hate them. And look, United have one less day of rest coming in as well. City beat Sheffield United technically on Wednesday, earlier this week.
Why did we have a Thursday game?
Sir, I did not pray to the FA Cup fixture gods.
Clearly.
This season. And Mike Dean, he'll be refereeing the match between Manchester United and Manchester City. He's one for the theatrics.
Proper
Muppet. His yellow cards. I like Mike Dean, the ref. He's not really good for United, though. I like him generally for football. I think he's hysterical, doesn't take himself too seriously, laughs at himself type of guy. But he has a persona on the pitch, and he usually doesn't like Manchester United,
He doesn't. He's a bit of a knob. I'm not a fan. And I have a feeling that we've gotten so much good luck, the VAR gods, that we're kind of due.
You think the VAR gods are going to be the difference, sir?
I think they might not help. It might not help the cause.
All right, sir, like you mentioned, quick team news. Marcus Rashford, he remains on the sidelines for Manchester United, and Paul Pogba is not expected to return. Dan James, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Harry Maguire racing for fitness, sir. And those are some players that should be featuring for us. That's a lot of that's a few niggles there. There's a few injuries.
They'd all be starting, right? All three of them
could be
are
just complete smoke screen there.
He could be. I think he said that like Maguire is probably likely. Yeah, the rolled ankle isn't too bad. I don't know what's going on with AWB and Dan James because Delo, I don't think he's ready to start it right back against City. No way.
So based on who's available, kind of determines, I think, how well we're gonna play. So we're jumping to physioroom.com, going injuries player by player. We, like you said, Pogba. Who knows? Paul Jogba. He's just hanging out. Sir, have a dark ale, Paul Pogba. Hopefully he'll play for us sometime before he goes to Real Madrid. Dan James, like you said, we don't know. Harry Maguire, race to fitness. Wan-Bissaka. Lee Grant signed a new deal, sir. We'll get to that a little later.
Couldn't believe it.
I don't know. Luckiest man in the world.
Why are we doing that?
Yeah, exactly. Fostu Mensah and Marcus Rashford, he is out still long term. There's been some good news this week about him making the race back. But as far as going to the derby, Ole's a little cheeky. I think these are injury smoke screens. I think we'll see Harry Maguire. I think we'll see Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And I hope to see Dan James at least on the bench for United.
I hope so. I mean, I think AWB and Maguire are more important. But I think, the speed that Dan James offers is a potent item against City and what they have. So I think we're going to be looking to counter. I think it's likely you're going to see the back three. It's a huge match. I mean, it doesn't get bigger than this.
Sir, what is your lineup given those injuries?
So I think we're going to get some people back. This is what I got. David De Gea back in net. Gaff or not, he's still one of the finest keepers in the world on his day. I'm doing a back four of AWB, Bailly, Maguire, and Shaw. Back four, no back three. And then a midfield of Matic, Fred, Bruno, and then a front three of Mata, Ighalo, and Tony Martial came from France. English press, no chance.
Pretty close to mine, sir. Dave saves world number one, still world number one, and tied for number one errors leading to goals in the EPL.
Top of the charts.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Nicknames just come out of nowhere.
Bailly, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Matic, Bruno, Greenwood, Ighalo, Martial. Sir, I like to see Greenwood on the right, Martial on the left, Ighalo FC up top. I don't think we're going to see that from Ole. I think we might see Martial, Mata, James, if that's available. I think you can't play Greenwood and James in the same front three just because I think he's shying away from that. I like to see James because of the pace, like you said, just like run rapid, get him behind their fullbacks, work the channels, have Bruno spray those balls in, and hopefully, get a goal.
Oof, he could use a goal. Speaking of players and the fact that a goal has a huge impact on, just their form and how much confidence they play with. Dan James could use a goal.
Sir, booking the bookies, I'm insulted.
How bad is it?
Sir, what do you think United to win the odds are here?
Plus 380.
Plus 400, not far off the mark. Shitty to win, minus 163. The draw plus 333. Again, I have, that's bad. We're playing at home. We're getting 4 times your money for United to win.
Look at our track record at home against them, though. It hasn't been good.
I mean, that's like the last 5. I mean, we are
5
doing
years.
well. Okay, first goal scorers. United, Martial plus 600. Ighalo plus 650. Greenwood plus 700. Bruno Fernandes plus 800. McTominay plus 18. James plus 22.
What's Matic?
Matic, I got to load a few more, sir.
I got it on the board.
Tuanzebe plus 8,000. Matic plus 5,000. Delo plus 6,600. So, Harry Maguire and Fred tied 3,300. So,
there you go.
I mean, City, Aguero plus 260. Jesus plus 350. Raheem Sterling plus 450. Sané plus 500. I mean, the goals come easy for Manchester City, huh? I mean,
they do, and they have at Old Trafford, unfortunately.
Sir, it's one of those where, what is your score prediction? The odds. The bookies have called it. We're going to lose big. What do you think?
It's going to be a nervy affair. I'm calling 1-1. 1-1 draw at home.
Sir, I look.
Yeah, tell me what you think. You confident? You don't look that confident.
I'm going to say 2-1. United do the business. Ighalo super sub comes on. We win. I mean, City, they were just weak mentally. I mean, it's one of those things where I've always had the feeling like we were going to beat them before going away. The pressure's always on them to win. They're not playing for a lot in the league right now. Pep might be turning his eyes to the Champions League. They might be turning their eyes to the FA Cup. Other ways for them, clearly they're going to be motivated to beat us. I mean, that's total. They
always are.
That whole line of thinking is nonsense. But it's just one of those like. They're just. I question the City players' motivation. Really, they're all highly paid prima donnas. United, we have a little more grit to us. I like the way we've been coming into this game. I don't think we're scared of them, and I think the players know they're indebted to the fans because we've had such terrible home form. So we might have that extra pep in our step. I could just hope for that.
No, I think this is one of the games where you cannot argue that it means more than United fans. United players and the City players, because they want it. You could tell at the moment we want it more. There's no top four repercussions or Champions League repercussions for City this year. I think they're going all out, probably trying to win the FA Cup and the Champions League if they can. Probably going to take their eye off the league to a certain extent, but they always want to win at Old Trafford. They always want to stick it to their bigger neighbors. But if we could do the job at home, it would just be so massive for us.
Sir, I hope there's a financial fair play chant from the home fans for Manchester United.
I'm sure they're working on it.
I hope there's a banner or something because they're cheating bastards, and we should be singing that from the rafters, sir. United in the news. That's right. I got the newsreel here. A little late. We're working on it here at the American Red Devils, sir. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer claims Manchester United are fitter, and we will not repeat last year's dip in form. Quote, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the team is fitter and better mentally than we were last year. They've had a winter break. We've added a few signings, and we're getting players back. The whole squad is ready to go, and I have to think, I agree with Ole. Everything's kind of lining up right now. Odion Igalo is getting fit. Bruno comes in just full of piss and vinegar. Everyone's kind of level is up. I don't feel that kind of tiredness. I think it was mentally we weren't in it. And if you really want to think about it, it's the number one intangible has got to be the locker room. And the more the locker room revolved around Paul Pogba and the Jesse Lingards of the world, we were missing that. Were we really taking it that seriously? Who was stepping up in the locker room? Guys, we lost to Everton 4-0. Let's turn it around. We got top four. We lack that. I think now, with the cancer out of the locker room, sir.
He's still around.
But you know what I'm saying? Odion Igalo, great story. Bruno getting on people, telling them what to do. It's almost like the team's moving on from Paul Pogba. He's not the leader we needed. That's not an insult to him. He's a world-class player. I love Paul Pogba, but it was too much for him to handle. The role for him at United was too much. Paul Pogba is just worried about Paul Pogba. So why do I care about the rest of the locker room, right?
No, and it's not just the players we signed in January. There's some good additions, good grit coming in over the summer as well. Maguire, a leader. You know how much it means to him. He wants to win every game. Dan James is the same way when he plays. AWB. Bruno for sure. And look at Igalo. Unbelievable. He's the most humble guy in the world. Thanks God before everybody else. And he says, we should have played better.
Exactly.
We should have played better. We won 3-0 on the road.
But that's the X factor. I haven't seen us
the right attitude
this since Zlatan was in the locker room.
Right.
It was you need somebody like this where you have hope.
Well, OG at the wheel.
You believe.
When Ole took over, it was exuberant and we were high flying. But now it's we've weathered the storm a little bit. We went through a dip. You got players back into form. You got players back from injury. You got some extra firepower in Bruno and Igalo, and they're coming off right away. The fact that they hit the ground running is a huge part of that.
And there's less pressure on everyone else, so everyone can step. Luke Shaw can step up against Derby. Then Bruno, he'll have a game against Manchester City, right? It's there's a little less pressure on everyone when the goals start going in. Players start stepping up. As a collective, you can kind of see that momentum, and you're right. We had it was the doldrums, sir. We were dying, Newcastle away, these games where it was just really tough. We were injuries, Pereira in the midfield, Lingard, can't drop him. It's those are the times, that, wake you up in cold sweats at night.
And I also think Ole's become a better manager. I think you've seen his evolution. He's managing the squad better. He's doing more rotation. Even Matic called it out. He's a better manager than he was a year ago. And the fact that he was able to rest Matic today, get a win, he's going to feature on the weekend. And he is a difference maker. He's playing really well. What a beast. Serbia. We've got to sign him for an extension for 1 year all day.
Sir, we waste all our money on Lee Grant. Next,
apparently.
Next bit of news. Harry Kane would prefer Manchester United switch over Tottenham rebuild per goal.com. This came out of left field, hot and heavy. Harry Kane wants to go to Manchester United. We've been linked to him for years. What do you make of Harry Kane? You take him at United.
You want a John reaction? Honestly, it's he's had injury problems for the last year and a half, 2 years. I'm good. He's going to cost big money. He would cost at least $100 million. I'd rather spend it on Sancho. I'd rather spend it on Grealish.
I thought you were going to say Gallo.
I think Shanghai Shenzhen is going to sell us a Gallo for like
nothing,
£4, which is great. A Gallo, I hope we keep him on. I hope he like kicks on for a couple of years, and it's just great influence. Kane, you get it for the right deal, but it's like I don't think we should break the bank on Kane this year.
No. Like again, it's one of those where I have no idea where this is coming from. I was trying to track it down. Kane Camp, United, Woodward, Muppetry.
Is he going for a new contract? I mean, he's going for a new contract.
I think that's probably something like that. Either way, it kind of came out too hot and heavy. And I like Harry Kane. You're right. I'm like lukewarm on him. I'm like, is that he's great though. I mean, he's EPL
on his day,
proven.
But
he's good.
But he's had injuries. Recently he's had a lot of injuries.
The one quote in the article was like he would like to put a Poch. It was kind of like if Pochettino goes, he would like to go. And again, I don't want to get into the whole Poch. Maurizio Pochettino, sir. He's a good manager. Clearly, Ole.
Allegedly.
Things are going well for Ole now, sir, but it's a results-based game. So if you don't make top 5, you don't win anything. People will be Ole out. Okay, so
they already are.
No, I haven't heard anything from Ole outers in a long time, which is great. It's like focus on the football, focus on the results. At the end of the day, you'll judge them at the end of the season, sir. And I think, if I had to put, 538.com, they have their predictions, and if I had to put, pin my prediction to be 5th, straight on 5th, and then we're going to be all summer worrying about the arbitration of Manchester shitty, and it's just going to, that would be the worst.
I got no faith in that.
That would be the worst.
The head of UEFA was talking about the Euros and how like he's not worried about coronavirus. Everything's going ahead as scheduled. That doesn't give me a lot of confidence.
Sir, they got a lot of mess. They
better.
And like we mentioned earlier, last bit of news, Grant extended his stay. This one came out we say Lee Grant's the luckiest man in the world, and that was before he signed the extension. So, I don't know what I got to do to be Lee Grant. I'll tell Jack, I'll be like, when he grows up, I'll be like, all you got to do is be like Lee Grant and just ride the bench for Manchester United, get me free tickets to the games, get paid more than you should, and, hang out. Lee Grant. Everyone wants his job.
I don't know.
Number one job in the world.
Do you get that move? I guess we're sticking with the same pecking order for goalies next year, right? It's going to be De Gea, Romero, and Lee Grant again. Dean Henderson's not going to take third spot at United. No, he's not. No. He's going to go on loan somewhere, I would imagine, again.
No, I would. Again, I saw some chatter about De Gea and whether he wants a new challenge. There's things like, but here's the problem with United. You look at all the money that everyone's on. You sign everyone up to these bumper deals, and then you start talking about moving players on, and it's just like, that doesn't make any sense. You give Lingard a big deal, and then like you need to move him on. He's on like 140, 150 a week. How are you going to do that? Like you're going to have to pay his wages to go play for Derby County, sir.
Because he won't take a pay cut to leave.
Yeah, League 2, he'd be a killer in League 2, sir. Playing in the mud. Playing in the mud in League 2, sir. Fan questions. Those League 2 pitches, sir. They don't make them like they used to. So that's like high school football. Thank you for all the tweets and the banter. Really appreciate you. At MJ Fitz on Twitter, quote, with Bruno, we're starting to handle teams we're supposed to handle. If that trend continues, a lot of points there. Excited for the City match now. This is like right into the wind. On to City. Bruno Fernandes. Bruno, sir. Absolutely love it.
Confidence is back at the club. Everybody's flying high at the moment. Players are playing like they want to be there, like they want to leave it all on the pitch. Their first derby for a couple of these players. So it's going to be a big match for Bruno. I think Gallo might start. I think he's ready to do it because I think he can muscle those center backs for City. So I can't wait for this game.
At Ty Kircher on Twitter, quote, happy to see the lads get through 9 unbeaten. Stay focused on Man Shitty for the weekend going forward. This momentum needs to lead to results in top 4 Europa League, FA Cup. Hashtag glory, glory. Hashtag Glazers out. Hashtag we're out. Absolutely. We're so close. And what we always say is they draw you in. They give you
hope. They give you hope.
Especially. It gives you enough hope.
And they kick you in the nuts.
The songs, and then you get so close, and then, sir, I hope we do not fade. I hope we do not fade. That's something I do not want to deal with as a fan base, just melting down on Twitter. Next tweet, at B Costello Books, quote, Our run of domination when playing on subpar streaming apps continues. I love this, Brian. BR Live, ESPN Plus, NBC, LFC, sir.
And NBC Gold.
Yeah,
they're all rubbish.
The amount of, it's unbelievable. Find a stream, share the streams. This is just not a nightmare for a United fan. And one point I wanted to make earlier that I actually forgot while we were talking was if I have to hear Arlo White say "City is purring."
No, we're watching.
Purring, I know.
We're watching Telemundo.
No, I was gonna say
we're not watching.
Sir, I know,
NBC Sports,
but
bro.
shout out to, so if you got cable, you watch the games, you got MEC Sports, and you got Arlo White, but you
I'm purring. It's like keeping your pants, Arlo.
City are purring. He is like,
he's the worst.
I mean, like Arlo White. We've gotten into it on. He literally reads Twitter. He
responds to trolls.
Like we tweet Arlo White, like, you know, that are biased or whatever. He literally gets into the comments, responds to us. I don't know what that says a lot about Arlo, but he's a sensitive guy. Either way, NBC LFC, dude. They even got the Everton VAR call wrong. Kyle Martino and Robbie Musto were just telling everyone it is the bad call, it's a terrible call, and then you watch an EPL ref break it down and line of sight versus line of vision. I did tweet that out, but NBC's got some poor coverage. It's been very biased. NBC LFC, sir, you just turn it on Telemundo. They got the game in HD, great commentary. You get the goal. Telemundo was way better, absolutely better.
They speak in like a mile a minute. It's unbelievable, and they're way better commentators.
Que golazo,
even without that, it's like,
United.
blah, 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 blah. We're a Telemundo house now. From now on,
Telemundo.
No more Arlo White. I'm good. Because you know he's going to be.
This is a City are purring.
Fuck you. Smoke you, Arlo White.
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, I can't stand it.
All right, so yeah, shout out Telemundo, our boys. If Telemundo sponsors us, we'll take that sponsorship from Telemundo. At Calizona Cat, Iggy, can't you see? Sometimes your goals just hypnotize me. I do like that song. Calizona Cat, you need to be sending that to the away supporters. We get that going viral. A little too clever for them, I think so. At Blazed_IN, Sir, Zagallo FC, Williams is worth his weight in gold for the fire he is lit under Shaw. We move on. Hashtag Woolward out. Hashtag Glazers out. Absolutely love it. It's true. B-dubs, Luke Shaw, competition is good for the squad.
It is.
Healthy for the squad. Sir Alex, that's how he did it.
Delo's come back into it. He's going to give some to AWB. I'm not sure how much competition he needs, but same with Zagallo and Martial. Same with Matic, Fred, and McTominay all fighting for spots. It's like we have options now. We haven't had options forever.
At Connor_Marsta, quote, "Me pie bringing home the bacon." Love that one. He was like a bull out there. Some pretty tender moves there in the box, cutting through the defense as if he were a steak knife. Let's marinate for a while. I love all the puns.
Get him, boy, Connor.
Dude, bringing home the bacon. Meat pie. Meat pie with bacon. That's a thing, sir.
They have meat pie of every variety.
It's like a tradition. Every time we fly into Heathrow, they do have we do actually get a meat pie. That's like the first thing we Gatwick, you're right.
First thing we get before we get on the Gatwick Express, you got to get a meat pie for the train.
So we're going down to London. Thank you for all the fan questions. Thank you for all the tweets, comments, banter. It's going to be a hell of a trip going in to the Derby, sir. Everyone, it's the good part. It's not early. It's 9:30 a.m. Telemundo.
Generous.
Set your clock. Get your Telemundo. Que golazo.
Hopefully they say about Manchester United, not Manchester City.
Manchester, I know it's tough, sir. And a quick PSA for the podcast: we have an annual trip that we make out to the UK every season. We've done it for maybe 4 or 5 years. I'm going to say probably 5 years at the moment. This season we will be not. We were not going. We were originally going to go away to Bournemouth FC. My son Jack was born. Yeah, we actually lost 1-0 in that match. My son Jack was born early, so we had to delay the trip, sir. I was in the hospital. You suggested that we should be going to the Tottenham away match, and there have been some contractions with your wife, and we just got to put it on hold. For some reason, our sons, they don't want us to go to England right now.
They don't want us to go to England without them because they are such big Manchester United fans, even in the womb, that they insist, "Dad, don't you dare go without me." So, unfortunately, Spurs game is off. I think it's a combination coronavirus FC and contractions FC. I'm not the wife's not due for 2 months.
I would say, I would give the wife being she's like, you ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
you already made one trip. it's understandable, but like we hang our hats this season. We pride ourselves on being with that away support, the home support, at least once a year. As a podcast, we've always recorded those audio clips and gotten them to you guys. I mean, last season, seeing that Fulham match in London was amazing. Going to the Champions League, I mean, even though we did lose, partying at Bishop's Blaze, chanting for 7 hours. I mean, it really invigorates us as fans. If you haven't made the trip, we highly suggest that you do so. If you have any questions about how to do it, we've always replied to all those emails or tweets or any questions. It's something we're going to miss this year, but we're both going to be, I mean, we're new dads, sir. So, this is part of the new pod game.
Super lame, but it is what it is. But if you are a United fan, you've done the home experience, and you want to step up the intensity a little bit, away is a unique and special time. Like you said, went to the Fulham away game, but I went to the Palace game where Matic hit the late winner. Unbelievable match. We went to Sunderland away where we saw Zlatan's last goal.
And Moisey go down. That
was great.
That's why this new season of
Sunderland Until We Die.
Sunderland Until We Die comes out. I think it comes out this month on Netflix. And
great show.
Going to Sunderland, actually, I mean, you can see how much it means to those people. And actually,
what about Maradona? They giving him another season. That was gold TV.
Great. That's another great.
We're getting off topic. we can talk about Maradona on that show all night.
There's some great Netflix football documentaries you haven't seen. Also, there's a great Georgie Best 30 for 30 on ESPN Plus, sir, that I got to watch the other night. And, Manchester United, is a club. You got to really appreciate the history. Watching the Georgie Best 30 for 30, I absolutely love Georgie Best. I got him on my FIFA Ultimate Team. He's an absolute legend. But, when he came into the club after, the Munich air disaster, Matt Busby, it's like the history of this club, seeing the footage of Old Trafford way back in the day in the 60s and 70s. It's just unbelievable to see where this club has come from, only to be purchased by the Glazers and be ruined by Ed Woodward, sir. Hashtag Woodward out, hashtag Glazers out. But if you haven't gotten into that side of United and you're a fan who followed them in the modern game, you really should watch some of these documentaries about the past.
Ruined? How dare you? This club could never be ruined, even by shady owners like the Glazers, because we have the greatest fans in the world, the history, like you talked about, some of the best history, where this club came from, the adversity we've come from, never say die attitude, 99, 68, 2008.
Sir, winning this 68 European Cup after Munich.
It's ridiculous.
It's unbelievable.
10 years out. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And Charlton, Best, I mean, you go on and on and on. It's like, it's unbelievable, the history of this club. It's such a rich history that all fans deserve to, really dive into it. So it's chicken soup for the soul. It's just like watching the Georgie Best 30 for 30. I mean, I highly recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen it out there and does subscribe to one of the many streaming services.
Before we cancel it, before the Epic Cup's over and we cancel it.
Yeah, Telemundo just plays United games. They don't make you stream them. Sir, it's been a hell of a week for downloads. We appreciate everyone who's listened to subscribe to the podcast. You want to give us our top cities last 7 days here, sir?
Absolutely. Number 1, how you doing? Chicago, Illinois. Number 2, New York. And number 3, Miami, Florida. Sir, keep us going.
Number 4, Johannesburg, South Africa. Shout out.
J-Bird,
Brooklyn, New York. Big Stone Gap, Virginia. Shout out to you. And sir, finish this off.
Number 7, Los Angeles, California, a.k.a. El Trafico. Number 8, Oslo, Norway. Appreciate all the Norwegians listening in. Number 9, Harrow, UK. And number 10, last but not least, Hotlanta, Georgia. Thank you for all the downloads. Another great week, another record week. We are just off to the races. I think it has something to do with this 9 unbeaten run, sir.
Sir, I think it has to do with the hot banter, all the fan comments, and the blog kicking off. We really appreciate you guys. And if you have any feedback for the podcast, we are totally open to it. The whole idea of the pod and you and me kind of sitting down and doing it kind of becomes a routine. So this product has become what it's become. We always try to push the envelope. Like this year, we added the website and the blog. But
and the gear.
If it's getting stale, or if you guys want to suggest anything for us, please do. Again, we would like to get the fans more involved, whether it's creating content for our blog or playing clips, sound bites. You guys want to email us sound bites of your reaction to the matches. We're happy to play those live on the podcast as well. I mean, we're thinking about maybe doing live Q&A, doing a live podcast recording so we can get more fans involved in this pod. That is the idea behind it. The mantra for fans by fans means a lot to us because we want independent content. We don't want people with ties to the club or kissing up to the club. It's like, no, we want the raw fan perspective, that armchair perspective that's most often wrong, that gut check here on the pod, sir. I've eaten my words like a few times.
Who hasn't? We're coming up on 200 pods, sir. So, with that much content out there, you're gonna get it wrong a couple times.
It's been a hell of a run, and just want to say we appreciate everything from you, the fans. And look, it's going to be a wild ride to finish this season, so you better buckle in, because United can go up, it could go down. It's going to be a roller coaster all the way around, sir. I can't wait for the derby.
But we'll be there with you every step of the way. Hopefully we have a lot to celebrate end this season. And it all starts with a big win at home on Sunday.
Sir, we debate kicking a blue. Always at the wheel. We're 9 unbeaten. Sir, how good does it feel?
Always at the wheel.